Hello and welcome to a very special video, everybody. Today I'm joined once again by Farvifian Guard. How's it going, Farvifian Guard?
My head hurts, and this is stupid.
Oh, it's only going to get dumber from this point. And of course, Farv's got his own channel, Farvifian Guard. You can check it out on the link in the video description. He's an author. You can check out his book on Amazon. So, Farv,
Right.
recently, through the great, glorious, and you should definitely check out his channel if you're into Battletech, Mage Leader, I caught wind of this fairly, well, let's be blunt, cover the kids' ears, shitty behavior by Games Workshop. Now, if you're an old timer, this
So
is
it's a day
nothing
that ends in
new.
Y.
Well, it might be an hour that ends in hour, so yeah.
Mm.
Effectively, so, just to give people some context, a channel called No Guts, No Glory was recently wrapped up in one of Games Workshop's, let's say, trolls for lawsuit potentials and was named in a Florida court to be sued. Now, to give people the little bit of fangs. He was able to not be, but they were trying to sue him on a magnet that he sold in his fang of the Warhammer. I think it might have been the 2C, but I'm probably wrong. I haven't seen the sticker itself, but a battle
Hmm.
mech from Battletech. So they were trying to sue him for something their company doesn't
Yeah, something that's
own.
not even their IP.
They were so callous in this, at least the company that was acting in their interest was so callous that they didn't even check to see if this was the case or if they were, had the grounds for it. But they named him in this kind of shitty thing, and I would definitely, I'm gonna link Mage Leader's videos so people can get the appropriate information
All right.
on this. But if you want to go check out Mage Leader's channel, he's fantastic. And of course, if you want to give a little bit of support to No Guts, No Glory, he's got a good channel if you like Mech Warrior Online. He's a good guy from everything I know. I don't know anything about his personal politics, so take that with a grain of salt. But I thought this would be an interesting thing to talk about a little bit in that the way Games Workshop operates, the lack in which they don't care about not
Hmm.
only their reputation, but their potential customers, I find absolutely just disturbing that people will accept that Games Workshop just, well, yeah, they'll sue random people because they feel like it. Or they'll have a company go out around acting in their interest, suing people. And I just find it absolutely insane. Like,
Ooh.
not to mention, we've had other companies where there were some bad things that happened where their investors sued them for their bad business practices. And I think Games Workshop really does conduct themselves in a very odious manner. They're very not only vicious towards their own customers when they don't think they're towing the right line, like Arch Warhammer or others in
Oh.
that regard. Um, but they really are kind of callous in that they don't even consider the PR disasters that come with the way they're acting because they don't think there's any. Well, at least I get the gist that they don't think that there's any repercussions for how they act. And, I've criticized Games Workshop, and I've always tried to criticize it from a constructive manner in which I talk about if they're providing the best product for their customers, if it's something that is worthy of their customers spending money on. Um, and I find it really troubling just the level to which so many will blatantly disregard the way this company acts. And honestly, it's a hard sell these days, Favre, when you're introducing people to something that, well, presumably you care about and you love, and you have to repeatedly talk about how shitty the company tied to it is. And I really hate that. Have you had to deal with that at all?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, also consider how often we have to talk about this kind of crap just in these, cooperative videos like this.
Yeah, and I don't do it because I don't care if it's famous. I do it because it's the right thing to do. This company is acting in a shitty manner. They're disrespecting their customers, and it doesn't matter if there's a fairly vocal group of people in their player slash customer base that are okay with this behavior because this shouldn't be acceptable at all. But they go around and they sue people and they act like they're the ones that are in the right when so much of their IP has been inspired, we'll be gentle, and came from other sources. Just to mention Chaos and the Chaos
Yeah.
Star for a
Uh,
couple examples of this company more than willingly taking from others while at the same time pretending like anyone that gets inspired by them is somehow the devil and deserves to be smashed into the ground. This is this behavior is so irritating and irresponsible and immature for a company. I'm continuously just caught off guard by the willingness that so many people are to just accept that this is how this company is. Um,
it's a bit of an issue, I'd say.
so I know I'm being a little bit, let's say, rough at the moment in this regard, especially consider my the general demeanor. But I just can't see how this is an acceptable way for it to be conducting its business. The fact that this is not even considered a faux pas and is generally like a nothing burger really just is disturbing to me because they're allowed to basically just act in such an odious manner that I go, well, how can I, as a person, sell people on this thing when I'm like, well, this company is really shit. Like, not to get into any political waters, but you could say the same with the situation with United Healthcare, or if I think that's the name of the company. Don't quote me on that.
Mhm.
And the fact that they believe they got sued by their own investors over the way in which they were conducting themselves. Um, so I, I, this is the thing is I'm trying to understand how, as a customer advocate, I should see this as anything but a company that blatantly, and I do mean blatantly, does not care about how it treats customers. It does not care how it treats non customers, which is a walking PR disaster from A to Z. They're not even going to offer a apology as far as I know at this point, for the company that they set up to go do this because they probably hired the cheapest one they could, and you're just like, okay, well, you're not even going to apologize for the crappy way you've treated potential customers, and you're going to just let this go because right now you can get away with it. And I don't know. I don't know. Am I complaining about a giant nothing burger, or am I being over the top over something that really isn't that big of a deal? Because I do understand companies have to defend their IPs,
Sure, but
but
that's not really what they're doing at this point, in my opinion, when they pull stupid crap like this.
they're being so over the top and odious that I cannot see this as anything but as one blatant disregard and uh, well, aggressive incapability of caring. Like, yeah, I get it, they're a company, but they should at least care about how they're somewhat perceived. And they're being perceived as well, horrible. And
Yep,
I
and
don't
accurately
know,
so at this point.
and I don't know how anyone can manage that situationally when it's like your duty is to make money, assholes, and what you're doing is you're creating a situation where people go, I don't want to give this crappy company money. And
Yep.
I just don't get how it can continuously act in such a horrid manner and be so disrespectful of people around it and still be kind of just brushed under the rug. But then again, the amount of people who've gotten angry at me for criticizing the company is
Uh,
much higher than I ever would have assumed. And I don't want to belabor it too much because the good things is that they were able to get themselves removed at their own expense after they had done some pretty nasty things to them, and that's the good side of it. The bad side is that they had to spend their money for effectively getting out of a lawsuit that should have never had them involved in it to begin with. And
that's definitely true.
that Games Workshop blatantly does not care. They just hire whatever yahoos they can to go out and act as, well, they're legal thugs. And I don't know. I find this a despicable way of conducting business. And, well, it's bad when you can sit there and go, they found the cheapest, most inadequate people they could and let them go out and do it. And I don't even know if we can really go at or have a go at the company that was doing it. They probably needed the money to begin with, and they probably don't know anything about the IP. And Games Workshop sure as hell don't want to have their lawyers that they have to pay money for do it. So, the good thing is they're out of it. The bad thing is, or you could look at it in a positive manner, is Games Workshop has really just made it all the easier for people to go, here's an examples of why this company sucks. And I know I've mostly ranted through this. I try not to do
Well,
that. And
it's kind of stupid, though. Well, kind of is an understatement.
we're being very understated in that one. Was there anything you wanted to say on the situation, Favre, or
Honestly,
questions?
I don't know if I have any questions unless there's something else you feel needs mentioned on there. This is just the same type of overreaching, frivolous nonsense that this company's become infamous, and in fact has become kind of a joke for. When they've previously taken people to court for the word pauldrons and Warhammer and all this other stupid shit, and it's like that somebody in the company has got to realize that there's no precedent for this nonsense, but they do it anyway.
Well, and the worst part, I think, in a lot of regards, is if we're going to talk about really basic business understanding, they have so many opportunities to turn these things into PR wins and
Mm-hmm.
gain goodwill and to make the situations basically work in their favor, that every time you look at it and you're like, this company is led by idiots who just do not concern themselves with, well, the good conduction of business. It's like there's so
It's
many times they could have had easy wins and they just went, nah.
it's all those twerps out in Nottingham that Northern Exile and Outer Circle have talked about. They think they're nobility. They think they can't be corrected. They think they're untouchable, and they just do stupid shit because they think that that's what they should do.
So I'll encourage people to check out Mage Leader and No Guts, No Galaxy. And of course, I'm going to say, check out the Outer Circle. They all provide really good content on well, their respective interest. Of course, Mage Leader is mostly about Battletech, but he's got some cool things he does as well. He does some gaming. He's generally a pretty nice guy from everything I've seen of him. The Outer Circle, he's got some great product reviews. He talks a lot about Horus Heresy. He's very well spoken and entertaining. And
Yeah.
No Guts, No Galaxy, I think once you see their content will speak for themselves. Of course, I'd encourage anybody to check out Favre's stuff. And hey, if they want to give a subscribe to the channel, that'd be fantastic. Recently, we've been having a big problem with a drop off of views and subscription. So, if you want to do that, awesome. If not, hey, just, leave a thumbs up or something like that. Or go, hey, thanks for putting that out there, Dudo. And, of course,
Judo.
Dudo. The Dudo family, of course. I'd
Oof.
like to thank everybody for joining us, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
See ya.